So it's November 5th, it's Tuesday, and we've just finished our Katina. So we had the preparations leading up to it, and many of you were here for that. Then there was a sea of people who came in, and then just like a wave coming onto the beach, just kind of crashing and then moving a little bit more forward and then retreating backward. And within several hours that several hundred people were in and then out. And then there's the calm and the peace and the quiet. And we recited the refuges, and it's a very good word to think about, this word refuge. So that possible anticipation for some brought excitement, and it's going to be a fun event and lots of people and schmoozing and talking, and for others it might have been, geez, not this again. And so if our refuge is in either direction, like excited about what's to come or dreading what's about to happen, or we appreciate the time when we're just preparing for something and it's quiet and then it's over and just closing down. And those are the real times when I can practice, I can be with my mind, but not when there's all this worry and flurry. I can't do it. We can see that and I see that for myself very much in terms of thinking about retreat, having a retreat time, retreating. I have no more responsibilities, I can finally practice. And I do see this as an error in my own practice so much, because I see that's just so erroneous. It's continuous with us. It's more difficult when we're busy. It's more difficult when we're interacting. But we don't drop our mindfulness. We don't drop our intention towards peace, because it's not the outer peace that we are finding refuge in, the outside being peaceful. It's just maintaining that internal experience of quiet and seeing suffering as it's arising and ceasing. And so just in terms of reflecting about that right now, this is a pretty significant day for some people. Some people might be particularly worried about what's happening out in the world, the flurry, the excitement around and unknown. Who is going to be the next president of the United States? Will my side win? Will my side lose? Or what's going to happen if neither? If it's just not sure? Will there be a civil war? And if we put our minds towards that, if that's where our refuge is in seeing that there's going to be some sort of resolution in the world where I'll be happy with an outcome, it just never works that way. No matter what outcome we get, there's always going to be some sort of disappointment, some suffering. If we think about it in one way, and we kind of believe in country lines and the idea of a national state where we're somehow related to all the people in it. I mean, that's a belief system, but in either way, based on whatever happens after today, 50% of people in this nation state will be disappointed. And we just want to see a way out of that. We want to see a way where we can resolve that in some sort of worldly term to make things right, to make things correct. And so we get, unfortunately, sucked into a lot of views and opinions, and we suffer. But over and over again, just like we had this Katina, we were looking at where our refuge is. What is it that's important for us as practitioners? And any time that our minds move towards what is happening out there, what's happening out there, as I can resolve all these things in my external experience, that's how I'll do it. I'll make all my relationships right, and I'll get all of my material circumstances the exact way I want them. We're just really not seeing the Dhamma. The Dhamma is lost to us. When we keep really investigating our internal experience around suffering, we say, okay, well, whatever's happening, am I suffering right now? And if I am I making a choice in some way to increase that? or to decrease that. And we just continue to ask ourselves, well, what can I do about this? How can I turn something that's unwholesome into something that is wholesome? And so we just keep coming back to that over and over again, that refuge, that sense of what it is that is secure, what it is that really releases us from bondage. And it doesn't mean that our worries we ignore them, or we just try to act like this metaphor with an ostrich just putting its head in the sand. We have to be in the world. We have to experience what it's like to be in this sense world. But we have the rare circumstance of having encountered the Buddha's teachings and being able to react in a very different way than most people. And so just really thinking about this word refuge and what is it that is truly secure for us? What is it that will really help us to be released from suffering? And as we reflect on that, we see that each time we try to negotiate with the world, we try to believe in a way that if I just adjust the circumstances to my liking, then we just fall away from that very secure refuge of the Dhamma. And in the exact opposite way, when we learn to trust the Dhamma, we learn to trust our internal focus on our own experience, then we see that there is just so much suffering that can be released for ourselves, and by doing that, we help so many others do the same. So just carrying this reflection into the rest of the day.